Let's move on, because I'll tell you what can go wrong. And it was obviously they got a new man in charge of production. Maybe they're doing a few things differently in the truck. These things can always happen on live production shoots, but it's good to know that Tony has hired some experienced professional talent that doesn't get rattled when there's production issues and can still carry off their duties in a professional manner. Don't you think? So Tony Schiavone was in the ring bringing out Hangnail Adam Page. And this started reasonably well because Tony kept the microphone and he asked somewhat legitimate question, and Page was giving an answer. He's not medically cleared. They had great handheld shot of the in-ring interview, by the way. It looked nice. And he says that, he keeps getting these fights with Moxley, but he's going to be cleared next week in Los Angeles, and he's going to fight Moxley then, and he's going to knock his dick in the dirt. Now, dick's not a bad word. It's just preposterous coming from this pretend fucking butterfly jean-wearing cowboy, but that's not bad. But that, of course, was the cue for the Moxley music to play and for him to make the long entrance where he gets in the ring and he's got a microphone, and now Tony Schiavone has left. They started out actually conducting an interview. The sportscaster on the program is interviewing one of the players at courtside or field side or whatever the case. No, now the other guy comes in. Tony has just disappeared, and they got a big face-off in the ring with Plumber Moxley and Hangnail Page. It looked like two homeless tweakers bowing up over the last rock. Did you see this?
Oh, yeah.
Moxley is sniffing and making the faces and the Gene Anderson neck twitches, and Page is fucking turning around and wiping himself and adopting stances. I don't know what the fuck's going on. AEW botches. I swear to God, I just said that. Two homeless tweakers bowing up over the last crack rock. Clip the video and put the audio, and it'll be hilarious. So let me just go back to, again, Tony leaving. The announcer runs the show. He should never leave until violence or unless violence breaks out. He's the one to do the fills. If this was a band, at this point is his time to be the background vocalist. He's asked Page a question. Page is answering it. Suddenly, someone else's music plays. Well, he's got to come in from the parking lot or wherever. So that's time for the announcers at the desk to set the scene. Oh, my gosh, here comes Moxley, and any history they want to give. When the guy gets to the ringside area, they lay out so that the guy in the ring, the announcer in the ring, can reset the tone of everything for the people there live and for television, bring them back into the immediate moment of the ring, and say, now, wait a minute, Jon Moxley, you're not scheduled to be here. And Adam Page, let him in. And then the announcer turns to Page, now, calm down, Adam. Then Moxley comes in. Now the announcer in the ring lays out again and holds the microphone for the two guys to argue at each other. He's doing little fills, and, oh, you can't mean that, or whatever. That makes it, instead of this awkward, these two guys that supposedly want to fight so bad, standing there looking like one's scared and the other one's glad of it while they run their mouth for 10 minutes. So anyway, it makes it look more unplanned. But here they all just accept what's happening because they know ahead of time, because it's all fake. So the announcer just steps out and relinquishes control. And Moxley there starts his promo. And he's trying to say he's surprised that Page made it because of the ongoing candlelight vigil with his concussion that he's had, and he'd get knocked out. And Moxley has a smart-ass attitude, and he's making smart-ass remarks. So one would think if he knew what he was doing that he's switching heel. But again, you never know. But then as he started it, the crowd starts chanting, "We can't hear you," because the ring mic is feeding program audio but not public address audio. So it's going on television. It's going out over the air, but the people in the building can't hear it. Well, now Moxley, of course, doesn't know this, He thinks it's dead, so he asks for another microphone and starts on it. But it goes off something, or for whatever reason also. And Moxley says, "What the fuck?" on the air, because the microphone is still feeding the program audio, and they tried to bleep it, but you could tell they got in 1 second too late, because they're like, "What the fuck did you say? Oh shit." And then when he gets the other one and he establishes it's on, he says, "Is this fucking mic on?" Okay. And then he's like, "Go Seahawks. Let's get this back on track." This guy is not only an unprofessional idiot and a detriment to the company in a variety of ways, but he can't think on his fucking feet. Number one, if you're on television with a microphone in your fucking hand, whether you think it's dead or not, you don't say fuck. But he does it constantly. I don't know how he hadn't got him kicked off television yet. But secondly, he started then with the good microphone doing the promo over again. Whether it had gone to program or whether it had gone to the building or whether neither or whatever, at that point, to try to cover that, all he needed to do was say, "Now that I got a microphone that works, you could already hear me, Paige, but I want to make sure that everybody else in the building hears what I've got to say to you." And then get to his point without the buildup of starting from scratch. Because now Hangnail is standing there like a dipshit through all of this. So he starts the same promo. He said the first part of his promo 3 times. But then he said, "Nobody's been knocked out more than me, and you're playing the victim." And Adam Page says, "Well, I've been knocked out more times than I can count. And I'm not mad about that. I'm mad that you don't take me seriously and you feel threatened by me." What the fuck is all this? So they're basically bragging that everybody and their brothers knocked them the fuck out. But they're not mad about getting knocked out. They're mad that Page is mad Moxley doesn't take him seriously because he thinks he feels threatened by him. Now they're getting into this new age mental fucking examination, psychological breakdown shit. And so anyway, Paige says, "I've had a month to stew about it, and I've got 2 in the chamber for you in Los Angeles at the Forum," like he's going to shoot him. And Moxley says, "Well, your punk ass doesn't belong in the ring with me, and I'll make sure you don't get back up this time." So a wonderful contest between 2 of the top baby faces. One's going to shoot the other one. The other one's going to kill the first one. This was so long and fucked up. I don't know what to think. What do you think? What'd you think?
Rick Ross thought he had a moment. Getting motherfucker on TV. He forgot about the man who got "go fuck yourself" on TV, making a big return. Of course, we're talking about Jon Moxley. I was just howling with laughter once, because I didn't even hear I just heard "fuck," and I started losing it, because I'm like, of course it's Moxley who fucking did this. Yeah, I mean, the promo, it's hard to give it a fair shot just because it was so disjointed because of that whole middle moment with the microphone.
When they got back started saying what the fuck they were saying, it wasn't that...
I don't know why Moxley went back to saying like the very beginning of everything. You said 3 times he said everything.
Well, he wanted to make sure, but who are we supposed to cheer for here?
The sensitive cowboy. I think Moxley's already a heel.
Oh, goddamn! Then boy, he needs a more likable babyface than Page. But I guess we've said that a bunch about Page.
But seriously, who's the last heel he's worked with? He was just working with Top Flight. They're clearly babyfaces.
Well, then how does Claudio figure into this? He's a smiling Swissman.
He's a passive heel.
Is that anything like a power bottom?
He's a power bottom heel.
Well, moving on.
Please, let's.
Yes, let's move right on along down the road around the bend.